WTFSutter on the very quiet set. Production has a little 1-week hiatus going into the last 2 episodes. Here's the fantastic Sons of Anarchy herb garden. That's all the vegetation we have growing on the set. Kind of jammed. Where are we at? Just turned in episode 12. That starts shooting after the hiatus, a week from Thursday, I think, or no, this coming Thursday. Peter Wello directing that one, and we just kind of finished breaking the finale in the room today. I'll start writing that this weekend, and coming into the home stretch. Wee bit fatigued, but good. Really excited about the end of the season. Excited about 12, and looking forward to writing and then directing the last episode. I'm not going to do questions today, just because I can't get anything off the email anymore. It's all really pretty much all spam, and I don't have my my computer out here. Just want to talk about what's out on the internet now, and address what we're doing next week. There was a posted originally on EW, I believe, about someone dying in Charming next week, and that is true. We are killing off a major character, and you know, my philosophy around all that stuff is really about what's the best storytelling, and I believe that the arc that we've sort of created over the last 4 seasons really led to this, and that it's a you know, it all sort of fits, I think, with the mythology and the narrative that we've created. So I feel really good that it's a very organic and good way to finish off the arc of that character. I think you know, look, I love the fact that people are invested in this show as much as I am, and you guys, you know, you're invested in the world, and you're invested in these characters, and you love these characters, and I know it's difficult to let go of them, and it's as difficult as it is for me to let go of them. I know it'll be equally as difficult for you to let go of them. But it's never a rash or arbitrary decision. A lot of thought, a lot of time, a lot of energy goes into making these choices that ultimately is best for the show, and in the long, you know, in the storytelling process, it's you know, I think it's the right move. What else? And the reason, here's the truth, the reason, you know, I'm very protective of all that kind of stuff, all my storylines. You know, I get very upset if there's spoiler shit on the internet, if stuff gets out, you know, we put out stuff on fucking Breakdown, and we put in actors come in and read for stuff, and they get sides, and inevitably all that shit sometimes leaks out, and you know, so we've been very smart about what we put out there, and to make sure that we don't put ourselves in a vulnerable position where people can get information and it's spoiled for the fans. So I'm very sort of, you know, have, you know, kind of shut that stuff down. But the reason why I was okay and kind of signed off on doing what we did about releasing information is that I feel like, especially going up against network premieres this weekend, this Tuesday, that, you know, I think I wanted as many people to be aware of what we were doing, so as you know, so we could bring as many eyes as possible to this episode. because I feel like, you know how it works. Once the episode airs, you know, regardless of what your connection was to this character, you know, that information is going to get out there, and you know, it's just not going to be a very satisfying viewing experience if you know everything, you know. So to tease it a little bit and let people know that this was going to go down felt like the right thing to do, to give people awareness, and so that people can, you know, at the very least, people can, and it's not so much about numbers, quite honestly, you know, I couldn't be more happy with the numbers. So it's not really about that. For me, it's just about the viewing experience. So at the very least, that you have the awareness that we did that, so that if you're watching something else and you've TiVo'd our show and it's on the DVR, that you know, at least if you don't want to have it spoiled, you stay off of Twitter, you stay off of Facebook, and then you can watch the episode and experience it for yourself. So that's why I wanted to give folks a heads up, so that you know, they can have you know, they can enjoy it without having it be spoiled, quite honestly. And that's the deal. And I'm sure I'll talk a little bit more about you know, the decisions that we made next week. And again, I've said this, I think, in last week's, but you know, I'm really incredibly happy about the turnout for the show this season. And you know, we dropped off about 18% between episode 1 and episode 2, which you know, is really actually it was less of a drop off between those 2 episodes than we had the season premiere, the season before. So not only did we get a bigger bump between season 4 and 5, is that the drop off decreased. So, you know, that's all. All indications are that more people are watching the show, more people are enjoying the show, and I just want to thank the fans for plugging in and really, you know, getting the word out there. You know, all this stuff matters, all this stuff, all the promotion, but I really believe at the end of the day, it's all about word of mouth. You know, I can't tell you how many Twitter messages I get and Facebook posts that it's like, hey, my friend at work turned me on, my buddy turned me on, you know, my cousin, my sister, you know, the word of mouth of this show is so great, and that's what, you know, gets people, ultimately gets them to those resources like iTunes and Amazon and Netflix to then catch up and watch the show and bring them up to speed, so that when we come into a season 5, when most shows are starting to flatline and go down, we're actually building an audience because of that word of mouth, and that's all about you folks. It really is, and I deeply appreciate your commitment to that and your enthusiasm. So you keep doing that, and I'll keep doing what I'm doing here, and I think we'll be okay. So we'll talk to you next week after the episode. Thanks.